Excuse me. Okay, so yesterday we did G, which was the green, and then we did it without the light pad. So I think I got most of that, or hopefully I got all of that. So today I'm going to start with, I believe I'm going to do S. It looks like it's the one that has the most, which is also a green. So I'm going to look for it. And I believe we have an S on here. Yes, we do. And so I will grab it, and that's the DMC number 3051, which is a pretty green. So we'll just put a few in there to start with, because I don't know how many this will actually have to use. So I don't like to fill my tray up too full unless I know I've got a huge amount to work with. So, okay, let me get this over here and we'll get started. So, how was your day today? Another cold day here, of course. So, nothing has changed much in that respect. For us, anyway. I don't think we're going to see a lot of real warm days. We'll see a few here and there because that's always the case when you're in December and sometimes in January. But usually January, February, and March are usually pretty cold months. So, and as you can see, I'm still using the same tape, double-sided tape that I was using yesterday, and I used it after I got through yesterday. I used it on the other diamond painting I was working on, so I have gotten quite a bit of use out of it so far and have not had to worry about changing anything. So yeah, it's been doing well. So a lot of times you will hear the snapping sound of the tape and the diamond going down and sticking to the tape, and that's a good thing. That's a good sound. You know that is doing what you want it to do. You want the diamond to come in contact with your poured glue on your canvas, and you know then your canvas has got a strong bond to it, and it is holding your diamond in place, and that's what you want it to do. So, think I'm going to push this up a little bit because once again, I am coming in contact with the camera, and I don't like it when I make it bounce all the time. I don't want to make you seasick, as we talked about yesterday. So, let's see. I'm trying to think what we should talk about today. As far as diamond painting goes, how do you diamond paint? Do you single place or do you multi-place with your diamond painting? I'd like to know how you do it. That interests me. I know a couple of people that I follow do single place, and then a lot of them double multi-place. So I mean, it's just up to the individual, and there's no right or wrong way. So yeah, you can't do it wrong. I just wonder which way you do it. Alright, I'm about done, I think, with the S's. Okay, I'm going to get the next color. So, I have been watching a lot of the, while I diamond paint. What do you watch while you diamond paint? I mean, if you're not doing a whip and chat. If I'm doing a whip and chat, of course I'm following the person that is doing the whip, putting on the whip and chat, who's doing the whip and chat. I follow right along with my painting and whatever's there, you know, while they're doing theirs, and I listen to them, and I always enjoy those because you never, you know, you find out a little bit more about those individuals and how they do things and what they do that might be a little different from you, that might be something that you, excuse me, that you might incorporate into your own way of doing things, because, you know, like I say, none of us do it the same. So, but when I'm just diamond painting myself, by myself, watching YouTube, I like to watch different shows. One of them that I do watch quite often is ARM Family Homestead, ARMS Family Homestead. It's just a really kind of neat show. And then the spin-off from that, or the other channel from that vlog, is Do Your Best, which is his wife's channel. Daniel is the one who runs the ARMS Family Homestead. Daniel Arms is his name. And they live in Oklahoma. I think the southern part of Oklahoma. Very interesting to watch and see how they operate their little homestead and the animals that they have on it. They have a lot of donkeys. His wife she's a donkey lover, and miniature donkey lover. She has a lot of little miniature donkeys, and they are the cutest things. And and she just loves them. And they've been having babies and stuff, and she just falls in love with those little babies, and it's been quite an adventure to follow them and watch that progress of those little donkeys growing up. And they don't grow them to sell them or anything like that. They just grow them to have them because they just love them. That's just something she does. She just loves them, to have them around. Then they have, I believe it's 4, right? Well, maybe they just got rid of them. Miniature Herefords. And she wanted some of those, so her husband, of course, said happy wife, happy life, and broke down and let her get what she wanted, of course. So it's been interesting run with those, but I've got a feeling they just sold them recently. It comes to my mind. I'm pretty sure they did. Because it turned out that they just really didn't have, they eat a lot more grass than the other animals do, and they leave quite a mess. So I think they decided that it was just a little bit more to take on than what they had actually planned to do, and so they sold them, I think, to a relative of theirs or something. Anyway, then they have the goats, and then we have the goats. They have a lot of little miniature goats, and those are the cutest things. Yeah, just darling little animals. But so are the donkeys. They're just absolutely so cute. And anyway, she names several of the animals, and I think all of her donkeys have names. I'm not sure about. Yeah, I think all of her goats have names too, if I remember right. Yeah, they all do. So, and then we come to her other most favorite animal. And this one is just so interesting to watch, and that's the alpacas. Now, they don't have the alpacas or the goats, either one, just, on the ranch to sell their wool or to sell their milk or to, any of that kind of thing. These are all just pets. And they're all named too. They all have their own names, and it is cute to watch them. And they recently had babies not very long ago too, and it's been quite fun to watch them. The goats are having babies. The alpacas are having babies. The miniature donkeys are having babies. It's just been, and some of the chickens, I think, have even had babies. It's just been a real fun time on the farm. And Daniel's wife, her name is DJ, and DJ gets so excited whenever a new baby is born. She just gets thrilled and they're so excited. She just loves them all. So anyway, that's a little bit about them. I follow them. They're just a fun reality show about everyday living on a farm or a homestead. And nothing, I mean, it's nothing that I would say in particular that I don't know what caught my eye. Maybe it was the alpacas. I don't know. But I think what made me stay was their personalities. They do have they have good personalities, and I enjoy that. Once in a while, I will say, the youngest little boy, he is quite a ham, and he does sometimes, as can be real hamish, I'll put it that way. But, that's all right too. That's what little boys do, and I've known little girls that do the same thing. So, yeah, they grow out of that eventually. So, if you can get past that, you got it made, because it is a good show. And so yeah, if you get a chance to watch that, I'll put that link in the description below, and so you can go out and check that out, because I think you would like that. And it's, like I say, it's something I watch while I'm diamond painting, and I just really enjoy it, keeping up with them, and it's just kind of a fun little, I think theirs usually runs about 30 minutes at a time. It's just a fun little 30 minutes of their existence and of their life. Of course, it isn't their whole life. I'm sure they have a lot of other things that go on during that time. So, but yeah, that's kind of fun to watch. So it's just kind of fun. Oh, that timer that I had for something I was doing just went off. So if you'll excuse me for just a second, I'll click a couple buttons and I'll be right back with you. So hang in there, I'll be right back. It's not this is just a step I need to get done here on something that I'm trying to do, so it won't take very long. So and okay, we're just about there. Oh, okay. Okay, let's see, where is it? What am I looking for? Alright, there's what I'm looking for. Okay. And two step, three step. Okay. Alright, I've got what I needed to do, and I'm back. So thank you for your patience and waiting there. We got that all taken care of. Oh, back to what I was doing. Sometimes those timers go off at the most awkward of moments. So anyway, I don't remember now what I was even talking about. But oh, yeah, well, I did want to say that I would put that down in the description so that you would have it to check out if you'd like. And another one that I have been known to follow is Trent and Ellie. I kind of like them too. They're a young family who are building their home on a mountain in Utah. Not Utah. Yeah, Utah. And they are up on the hill in a mountain, and it snows up there, but when you go down to the town, it might not be snowing down there. It might be perfectly fine down there. So they just never know for sure what it's, about that. But he has a van building, tour van building company down in the suburb down below, the town down below, and then he is trying to get his garage built on his property up there on the mountain. He built his home, and now he's trying to build the garage. So yeah, and he's doing a really good job. He's got a one worker who works with him. I think this gentleman has been his friend since high school, and he hired him full-time. So he's a full-time employee, and he has all the benefits and everything that goes with being a full-time employee, because he has a family. You can't just quit your job and take on another job without having guarantees and perks that go with a full-time job. So, and Trent knew that, and he was more than willing to meet those obligations, because this gentleman is a very good worker, and they work well together, and he wanted him to come work for him. So it makes a big difference if you're, if you're a good worker. That goes far can go very far on your work resume. when someone is wanting to have you as their employee. They're just maybe willing to go that extra mile to get you where they want you to be as their employee. So anyway, this has been a good show to watch. They have a little 1-year-old child, and his name is Leo. Trent has a previous child. I don't know if it's just from another relationship or if it was from another marriage. That I do not know. I did not join the show until later, so I did not catch that part. But anyway, his name is Joel, I believe. And he's, I think he's might be in college now, or just starting in college, his first year. But he comes and works in the summer for his dad, and and they have a good relationship. He enjoys being there. They go on trips, hunting trips together, or they go on different kinds of trips together. Rock climbing is a big thing that they like to do. So yeah, they have a relationship that is pretty good, pretty stable. And then the major thing is watching them build this garage and the ups and downs of doing it. He does have a lot of problems sometimes getting this garage built. A lot of things go wrong sometimes, and I don't know what happens along the way, but things don't always just work out right for him. And it's just interesting to see how it all comes about and eventually comes out and works out. Allie is a big support person for him. They do communicate so well together, and I think that they were together a lot of years, I think, before they ever got married, and they traveled all over the world in this touring van that he built, or they built, I think, together, and they went all over everywhere. And then when they decided that it was time, well, when COVID struck, they had to come back to the United States, and it was time for them to be home in the United States. So that's when they had to make some changes because they were going to be quarantined for a while. And so they ended up getting married because they knew they didn't want to be apart, and they wanted to be together. And so they would have to be together. They would have to be quarantined for quite some time. So they thought this was the best option for them, to go ahead and get married. So they did. And they were married quite some time, I think, before she ever got pregnant. I mean, I think it was maybe a year or more. And then she got pregnant with little Leo. And he is such a cutie pie. I really think he is adorable. So, it's a good show. I watched that one too. So, I like good family shows. I don't like, I'm just tired. I could watch shows on CBS if I wanted to. I don't want to most of the time. well, I do go to CBS, and I do watch shows like Young Shelton, and I'll watch The Ghosts, I guess. That's on CBS also. And then I do, there are a few shows I will watch on CBS, but that's about it, I think. I don't watch too many. Um, I just don't have a desire to watch all that drama, violence, and Walking Dead stuff. It just does not impress me a whole lot. So I don't watch it. I'd rather watch YouTube. And if I want to know about, another one I watch a lot is called the Petricks. I don't know if you've ever heard of them or not. They're a family. They are a family that is in the UK. Well, they're from the UK. They're now living in France, and but they bought he met a woman, and I believe she's from France. Her name is Gwendolyn. His name is Billy, and they got together, him and her, and they bought together a chateau, that's what it is, that needed some major work done on it. And they got a really good price, bought it for a really, really cheap price, a real reasonable price. It needed so much work done to it to restore it, but they wanted to restore it. And so they set up their minds to it that that's what they were going to do. And they were going to live in it. So it had like 7 buildings that went along with it, I believe, the chateau, plus some forest area and a lake. And it's just, I think there's like maybe 60 or 80 acres that go with it. It's just a really neat place to look at. And anyway, so what ended up happening was that they were his brother Michael joined them and started helping them do some of the work on the buildings. And then his mother and father, they were already living in France, so they came and moved into one of the outside buildings, and they helped remodel and renovate the chateau. And then his sister and her boyfriend moved on the grounds, and also, well, I don't know, they didn't do any renovation necessarily, but Billy, I guess, had purchased some horses, so she became the horse master. I guess that's what you would call her. Taking care of the horses, or being responsible for feeding and taking care of the horses, because she had experience when she was a child or young or something of doing that when she was younger. So she took over that position, she took on that position. And so but I will say Billy is a hard worker, and he did so much of that renovating and work himself. He would get a cherry picker, and he would get on up there, and he'd repair those roof tiles. And I mean, he was a hard-working man. I don't know how he had to be exhausted when he come in at night. And I know that he did a lot of painting and things like that. And I think that Michael and Gwendolyn both did that also, a painting, I mean. But Michael's major role was to help with the like the curtains or the flooring, maybe, and then the what we call or what they call the gardener's cottage, restoring and rebuilding the gardener's cottage. And so that's what his major task was. And he's an artist by trade, and he does a really good job as an artist. He has made several drawings and had them for sale on that channel, and they have earned several dollars that has helped support the channel and provide income to help with some of these renovations. So it's been very, very good all the way around. But yeah, it's really been great. They got the well, they're not completely 100% done. The first floor, or the main floor, I guess is what I call it. The main floor is pretty much done. There's a few things that need to be done, but it's very livable and it looks beautiful. It's where you can live in it and just really be impressed with how it looks, and not know that you need to really do more to it, because it can go. It's something that can be done a little bit at a time, so you don't have to hurry through it in order to live in it, because it's already at that stage. So they're living in the chateau, and they're working and providing. YouTube is providing them enough of an income. They're doing well, and it's really interesting to follow them and their family. They're fixing up the other areas of the grounds, and that's all really nice. The parents and everybody are all still there helping, and will stay there. They're going to continue to live on the ground. Plenty of room for all of them. That's not going to be a problem. In the meantime, Billy and Gwendolyn, in town, there was this convent that was in dire need of help. It really was really run down and needed some major help. And it came up for sale. But so Gwendolyn and Billy did some major talking, and went to the banks, I think, and everything. And they were able to get the price, I guess, within the reach that they were interested in the convent. And with the help, a little bit of help from the community or the town, they were able to purchase the convent. So they were excited, and they have been now renovating the convent, and it is turning into such a beautiful place. Oh, you should go watch the Petricks. I'll put a link for that one down there too. You'll like that one, because I watch them too. They, yeah, you'd enjoy that one, I think. They vlog every day, but Monday through Friday. They take the weekends off, but I think they only have run from anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes to up to somewhere maybe between 15 and 20 minutes, somewhere in there. They don't have big long vlogs. It's just I'd say anywhere from 8 to 20 minutes, is depending on what they have to show and how much they have gotten done. So their projects, what they do during the day at the convent, mainly is what they're talking about right now, because there's a lot to do at the convent yet, but they have come such a long way. If you go back on their past vlogs, you'll see that where it started and where it is now. Oh my gosh, quite a difference. And such a hard-working man that Billy is. I am so impressed with him. So yeah, go watch him. I don't think you'll regret that. He does have people who help him. I won't say that he does it all by himself, but he does sure does a lot by himself. So, okay. Well, that's really the ones I watch mainly. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones that I watch that might interest you while you're diamond painting. I don't know. It's really kind of hard to say unless I'm really impressed with the pastured homestead. I think they're doing some great things over there. I'll put that link in too, because they're just new as far as I know. So they've got a ways to go, but they have done quite a bit actually for being new. So yeah, check them out. I'll put that link in for sure, because that's another one that I do enjoy watching. He's a smart young man. Him and his wife both are very smart young people, and I think they'll go a long way, go far. And so yeah, check them out. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't really gone out there and found any other but channels that I might be interested in. If you know of a channel that you think I might be interested in, or one that you're interested in and think that it would be a good channel to diamond paint by, even if it's a diamond painting channel, because there's a lot of good ones out there that I have not even began to know about. I mean, I picked a few that I liked and stuck with that, and I just didn't explore a whole lot. Let me know, and I will definitely be sure to check them out. I'm always interested in doing that. If they're good quality, I mean, not good qualityness, if they're just good diamond painting shows and the language is decent, I have no problem checking them out. I just, that's one thing I really don't, if I, I don't like foul language, so if I tune into a channel that has some of that, then I probably don't watch. I turn it off. I go somewhere else. I just don't. Well, that's just not my preference. So anyway, yeah, I'd be happy to. I'm interested, yeah, for sure. We're finally getting closer to the end here on this day 4, and I'm happy to see that. So I hope you are all having a good day today. It's just been an interesting day all the way around. Um, I feel like maybe I might be catching a cold, so I stayed in and tried to keep myself warm and cozy, and I've been taking some fluids and orange juice and things like that. Uh, I have my vitamin C also. I take a vitamin C pill. I started in the fall, and I take it all through the winter because it just helps, I think, when it comes to flus and things like that. Of course, I get a flu shot every year. I don't know about you, but I believe in them because I've gotten one every year for the last 15 years, and I find them to, I haven't really had the flu. Now, I've had the sniffles, which most of that is sinus. I don't think that I have actually got a cold, but I have gotten a cold before. I mean, flu shots do not prevent colds. Never have, anyway, that I know of. Um, but most of the time, I find that my sniffles and the coughing that I do is not is more allergy related, according to the doctor, and I believe that to be true. Um, it's I have always had issues with sinus. Oh gosh, since I was in my early 20s, uh, I really developed it bad then. I had some maybe during my teens, but not like I did when I got into my early 20s. I thought, oh my gosh, uh, it just seemed like I had issues with sinus, and it came and it stayed and it didn't go away. Uh, so yeah, that has always been a problem for me. So as much I can do about that. I mean, I take my allergy medicine uh, when I need to, and I have my inhalers, and I'll use them when I need to. But what can a person do uh, when you're used to having allergies, and that's just what it is? You just put up with it, I guess. So I don't know. It gets old after a while, for sure. It really gets old after a while. So what are you going to do today? I'm just going to stay home, be close to home, and try to get these sinuses and these sniffles under control. I'm going to rest today because it's Sunday, and that's what you do. Sunday is the day to kind of rest if you can, if you don't have other obligations, and I don't have, so I'll take this opportunity to rest and maybe make the sniffles or the cold, whatever it is I've got, maybe go away a little quicker. So try to have a good day, and otherwise I'm trying to think, is there any good shows on TV? I don't I don't know. I never really pay a whole lot of attention because, like I say, I watch YouTube. Uh, so I really could not tell anybody if there's a good show on or not today. Um, so it would be on YouTube if it was, probably. Um, I'm sure I'll tune in to ARF, AFM. See, how's that? ARMH, ARMH, Arm Family, Arm, let's see, Arm Family, AFH, Arm Family Homestead. Yeah, I'll turn into them to see what they're up to. They, the husband, I think, he pretty much, I think, blogs or vlogs every day, or every other day at least. And his wife, who her channel is Do Your Best, she vlogs 3 times a week, I think. So, and I'm not sure what those days are, but I'm thinking, okay, yeah. So, maybe between them and the some of these others that I like, maybe I'll be able to figure out something good to watch today. So, what are you planning to do today? I don't know what I'm going to do, actually, other than maybe take a nap, relax, rest. So, well, I need to be setting up a video one of these days soon to work on my storage boxes for my rounds and my squares. So I need to get that set up one of these days before too long. That project has been put on kind of on hold for a while, and I really need to get it going, get it finished. I don't like to put it off too much longer. So that I'll be doing one of these days soon. So you can watch for that. And what else do I need to do? Well, I need to call my brother, say hi to him, see how he's feeling. He's really recently been very sick, him and his wife both. She's had pneumonia. She's been very sick. She's on the mend now, and so is he, but he had RSV, and he was really sick. He could hardly breathe, and it just really was hard for him to talk to anybody or anything. It was bad, and I really felt so bad for him. Not good when you're sick like that. I said I can only imagine what it would be like for these little kids that have RSV because I have a granddaughter that has had RSV, and she's like 6 or 7, something like that. And she has a nebulizer and inhalers anyway because she has asthma. But it's rough, really rough on them. If it's rough like it was on my brother, or what it has been for my brother. Of course, my brother has bronchitis and has had since he was a child. So I assume that, this is a double whammy for him. But yeah, RSV is just nothing to mess with when it comes to your lungs. We got to take care of our lungs, because if we don't, uh, you know, it's no fun not to be able to breathe. It's terrible. And I feel bad for anybody that can't. It's rough, a rough, rough time. I've had friends that couldn't, that have had problems. And so, yeah, that's not good. So, they've had to go on oxygen permanently, and that's not fun either. I had a cousin of mine. Her lungs were so damaged. I think hers was mainly damaged from smoking. She gave it up, of course, but by then it was just a little bit late, and she had to go on oxygen. And then it was so bad she had to have a double lung transplant. She was put on this waiting list, and she was on this waiting list probably 10 years or 12 years, I don't know. It was a long time. And we didn't think she was going to ever get off the list. She was getting older, and we just didn't think there was going to be a match for her anywhere. And that's what's hard, not being able to find a viable donor. Yeah, you just think, oh my gosh, am I going to die, or is she going to die? She's not able to find anybody and you don't wish somebody dead to help you. That's for darn sure. So what do? You just sit there and you just wait till something happens. And one day, finally, she had this portable alarm with her, and she always had to carry it with her. It was a phone, a special phone, I think, or something. And it went off, it rang. And when it rang, she had to leave at a moment's notice and make it to this hospital in Wisconsin. And she had a little open window, period of time where she had to be up there to have this transplant. And so she was on her way and gone before any of us really knew what was going on, because she couldn't stop and visit with any of us or tell any of us. She had to go. And so she told one person, and one person then had to pass it on to everybody else, and hope that they got all the information correct and didn't mess anything up. And well, you know how that goes. Not everything gets relayed exactly the same. But it wasn't as bad as it could have been. So anyway, she got to Wisconsin, and it just so happened that a young gal had been in a car accident, and she was a donor on her driver's license. It said she was a donor, and her lungs matched my cousin. And so she my cousin got a new lease on life, and has been doing very well ever since. And we're so very thankful and pray for that family that lost their child. But so grateful that this little gal wanted to be someone who helped people even after she was gone, because she gave uh, a very amazing gift to my cousin, who was having such a difficult time breathing. In fact, we didn't think she was going to make it very much longer because it was so hard for her to breathe. And so, yeah, it was very, very scary when you can't breathe. So, take care of your lungs. Whatever you do, take care of your lungs. You may never get another chance to get in another set. It doesn't always happen. So thankful that my cousin it did happen for her. But it almost didn't. It almost didn't. So I had a friend of mine, her husband was almost in a similar situation, except his situation was his kidneys. His kidneys were so bad that he needed to have a double kidney transplant. And he did have. Finally, after a long, long period of time, he finally did. And but I don't think that he took as good a care of his kidneys as my cousin has taken of her lungs. She has taken very good care of hers. He's a stubborn-minded man. He passed away now. He was a stubborn-minded man and determined to do things his way. Whether it was the right way or the wrong way, he was going to do it his way. So a lot of decisions and things that he made along the way, I think, were the wrong choices, the wrong decisions, and were not the best choices for his lungs, for the new lungs he got and everything. I think it was not the best choice. So his life, yeah, he didn't live as long as he could have probably lived. But his wife, her poor heart just broke because she idolized him. She did everything with him. And after he died, she all she did was talk about him. She could not do any of her conversations were always about him. She could not discuss anything that didn't, unless it involved him. Um, and what do you say? Um, yeah, I mean, you listen, but you've heard this same stuff from her come out of her mouth probably a million times, but yet she doesn't realize that she said the same stuff over and over and over again. And all of her friends have heard this same stuff over and over and over again. But she doesn't have anything else to talk about but him, because she had her life so wrapped up in him that that's all she cared to talk about. And it was sad, very sad. And he's been gone, oh gosh, maybe 15 or more years, and she still talks the same way. Um, she'll never let go of him, which and to a point she shouldn't have to. That's her comfort. That's what makes her happy. But after a while, people just, a person just doesn't know what to say anymore. Uh, because you've heard it so many times. What do you say? So yeah, it can be heartbreaking sometimes when when someone cannot let go at all. I mean, I think memories are good, and you should remember. Everyone should remember your loved one and enjoy the good times and remember the good times. But you shouldn't make that person the only thing you can talk about. You have to make new memories too. That's what's sad. Okay, well, we've got this one done. And it looks pretty good. So, I'm going to say this is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me for day 4 of Advent. And join me tomorrow as we do Advent day 5. Thank you so much. Make sure you like and share and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed, and maybe hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload a video. I want to thank you all so much for joining me, and I appreciate every one of you who are subscribing to my channel and liking my channel and sharing it and giving me a try. I'm new to YouTube and I've got a long way to go, so I'm trying my best to be uplifting and positive on my channel, and I hope that you can tell that and understand that in every way, in all that I do on this channel. So thank you so much. Come back again. Have a great day, a very blessed day. Thank you. Have a happy diamond painting. Bye.